Hello, my name is Muntaha Arif, and welcome to my adventure number 1, where I compare two different court cases. Let's quickly watch this YouTube video that talks about Ontario legal hearings.
Every day, Ontario educators demonstrate high ethical and practice standards in their work. But when they cross the line, or boundaries are blurred, the college holds public disciplinary hearings to deal with the alleged professional misconduct. Discipline hearings are serious business, and the college does everything it can to make sure that they are timely, open, and fair.
Okay, so this video can be viewed in the project at a later time. Let's just get to the overview of court case number 1, where Michelle Joseph Gilbert was guilty of professional misconduct under sections 32 and 41.1. He was accused of being in a relationship with a student, and he admitted to this accusation, and he was found guilty under the Ontario Regulation 437/97, and the penalty was that his certification was revoked. He was also arrested and charged with 1 count of communicating by means of telecommunication with a person under the age of 16, section C46 of the Criminal Code. However, these charges were withdrawn in exchange for a peace bond. For the second court case, it was between OCT and David Andrew Wren, where he was also guilty of professional misconduct. He was accused of being in a relationship with 2 students, and he also admitted to this accusation. He was found guilty under the Ontario Regulation 437 and 97, and his certification was also revoked. These cases were actually chose randomly from a personal list that I made. I thought that these were quite interesting as they were both similar yet different, as one was a criminal case. They actually, one of the cases outlined the specific interactions between the teacher and student, so text messages and online instant messages. And it was surprising to see that how far a teacher may go. It shed more light on our responsibilities as educators and the negative repercussions that our actions can have. So why is this important? As an Ontario teacher who is certified, we are held to the OCT standards of practice and ethical standards, which are right here on the side. Our actions, again, have negative repercussions, and they reflect quite poorly on our education system at all levels. So, in relevance to the course, we've spoken about the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, Human Rights Code, and the OCT Act, as well as many others. Both of these cases violated the OCT Act and the Criminal Code in one instance, and so it gave me a better understanding of the educational legal system, and also made relevant connections to the coursework that we've so far done. Here's a little quiz that you may take. Cases such as the one under discussion are stepping stones for further legal policies. True or false? And if you answered true, then you were right. Cases such as the one that we're talking about and many others do have many legal implications. So let's talk about some of these legal implications. When we think about the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, we think about the basic human rights that every individual is obligated to receive. However, in the case of both these legal proceedings, it is safe to say that, if not directly, that Section 7 of the Charter, which states that a person has a right to life, liberty, and security, was partly violated. Although this section categorizes under legal rights of someone dealing with the justice system, in both cases, the accused were harming the security of the students. The students did not feel comfortable or safe in the presence of these teachers, thus providing a basis for such implications. In terms of the Canadian Constitution, there is an education section. However, it does not seem to have relevant connection to the cases being discussed, except that the laws pertaining to the education have been given to provincial authorities, meaning each province can govern its own education system. That is why in Ontario we follow our own Education Act. There are a lot of implications that can be made about these court cases in relation to the Education Act. However, one aspect that stood out to me the most was Section 246/18, which basically states that each board needs to develop a code of conduct for their employees, and I feel that although the boards do have these codes of conduct and are constantly revising them, they are actually not discussed with teachers and educators in the school. Looking at how in both of these cases the defendants were found guilty of professional misconduct, I feel that the boards need to start implementing programs or possibly allotting professional development days to emphasize the code of conduct of a professional teacher. The defendants of these cases are the ones who are found guilty under the respective sections of the Ontario College of Teachers Act, and thus does not leave much room for legal implications to be made at this time. In terms of the second court case of the college versus Andrew Wren, the Children's Aid Society was called in to investigate. However, they did not verify child protective concerns, as the student's age was over a certain limit at the time of the allegations. The investigation conducted by the Children's Aid Society falls directly under the Child and Family Services Act, Sections 2 and 3, where a designated aid society can investigate for all of the reasons stated in Section 3, and one of them being that there might be allegations or evidence that the children may be in need of protection. These are most of my references. And thank you for watching my video.